Hi guys, my name is Ranganathan SVN Kondala. I'm also commonly called Vikas Kondala. I'm here today to guide you or help you with Indian Ancient India syllabus for UPSC as part of Indian art and culture. Sorry for that, I was just going for my tab. Yes. In this session, we're going to discuss Ancient India Stone Ages. So there are few historians who have actually given exact details of different Stone Age history. First and foremost, and rather most important, is Robert Bruce. Robert Bruce was the first person to discover a Paleolithic tool in Pallavaram. Pallavaram is in Tamil Nadu. Pallavaram is in Tamil Nadu. It was actually Robert Bruce Foote who actually discovered the first Paleolithic tool, a little hand axe. Sir Mortimer Wheeler is another important um, person who actually discovered prehistoric cultures in India. Mortimer Wheeler is very instrumental in discovering Indian Stone Ages. Actually, their sequence. He classified Stone Ages into three types: Old Stone Age, Late Stone Age, or New Stone Age. Old Stone Age is also known as Paleolithic Age or Paleolithic Era. This ranges from 5 lakh BC to 10,000 BC. 5 lakh BC onwards. Mesolithic Age or Middle Stone Age ranges from 10,000 BC to 6,000 BC. And the New Stone Age or the Neolithic Era, this ranges from 6,000 BC to 1000 BC. Please do understand that this classification which Mortimer Wheeler actually gave is only a timeline basis of classification. This is not about giving you an exact date or exact time. It is about giving you a little idea. It's only a timeline type of classification. This is R.G. Bhandarkar, one of the most famous historian. You will hear a lot about R.G. Bhandarkar. This is Robert Bruce Foote. Okay. Now, this is actually a little map of Indian Stone Ages. You can see these a little. For when you see history optional, this part becomes very important because you need to understand different locations of these, different locations, different patterns, different situations. For example, Odai in Villipuram, very important. Nellore. See, this year in May 2019, there were excavations done in Nellore. Nellore has had a recent excavation, so that becomes very important with Nellore. What is Paleolithic? Paleo means early. Lith means stone. In Paleolithic era, pretty much the people were simply hunter-gatherers. People were simply hunter-gatherers. You see Paleolithic era in all parts of India except alluvial plains of Indus and Ganga. Only in the regions of Indus and Ganga there is no existing Paleolithic culture, but in all others we do have a Paleolithic culture. The Paleolithic people do not seem to have any knowledge of agriculture, house building, pottery, or metal. See, why this point becomes important is with this we can conclude this definitely These people were not civilizational. The Paleolithic people were not civilizational culture. They used tools which were unpolished, undressed, and rough stones. Tools were mainly made of hard rock called quartzite. That's why this people or Paleolithic people are also called the quartzite people of India. There are three types of Paleolithic: lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic, upper Paleolithic. Lower Paleolithic, most of the tools were hand axes, choppers, and cleavers. Cleavers are those like a hook type which they cleave and they cut a narrow channel into the meat. So when there is a meat, and they use cleaver to actually cut that narrow channels and make this long strips of meat. Locations where we see lower Paleolithic culture is Sohan Valley in Dindwana, Rajasthan, near Swan River, Hiran Valley, Gujarat, Bhimbhetka, Madhya Pradesh, Belan Valley, Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. These places we do see Paleolithic. Middle Paleolithic is where we see stone ages, like mostly made of stone tools, mostly made of flakes. Narmada, Tungabhadra river valleys, Pothovar plateau between Indus and Jhelum. This region also we see a lot of Paleolithic, Middle Paleolithic. Here stones were made of flaky tools. I mean, they take a tool here. These were not very well polished, but here the tools were flaked. And flaking is like how apna with the pencil. You know how we do flakes? That kind. Upper Paleolithic, parallel blades, burins, and some kind of bone tools. Sharp needle type of tools. Andhra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Central Madhya Pradesh, Southern Uttar Pradesh, and bone tools were actually found in cave sites of Kurnool. In most of the Kurnool region, we did see some of the bone tools. Okay. So this is examples of some of the Paleolithic tools. Cleavers. And these are the ones which they use. You use this one to tear the meat, this sharp angle. Hand axes. These are like to cut and chop. And these are fine choppers. Okay. You can see how these are flaky. You can see this is all flaky. These are all what we call the flaky tools. Mesolithic age. From hunter-gatherers, people turned into hunter-herders. I mean, they started what we call group hunting. Hunter-herders is basically group hunting. Mesolithic era is also called as a microlith era. Microlith era. That is because of the miniature tools which are found here. Miniature tools, I mean, these are small tools of almost 8 centimeters. Miniature microliths are basically miniature tools, mostly used of crypt silica. Charles Denny chart non-geometrical shapes. It's not about looking very perfect in shape. It is just these are those tools which are supposed to look okay. Okay, pottery is absent in most of the Mesolithic area or Mesolithic region. This becomes a question for most of your prelims MCQs. I mean, pottery was present in Neolithic, Mesolithic, Microlithic. So the following statements, these are correct, etc. Composite tools were also there. This is a composite tool. You can see here how there is a wood thing and stone. This timber and stone both are used to make a tool. Composite tool is where more 2 or 3 elements are made, or 2 or 3 types of tools are made from couple of 2 or 3 type of materials. Langganj in Gujarat, very important place. Kaimur region of Mirzapur, pottery exists. In Kaimur region of Mirzapur, which is part of the Mesolithic era, pottery did exist. The last phase saw the beginning of plant cultivation. This is important. It is in Mesolithic era where we see very little example of cultivation. It is in Mesolithic era that we see a very little example of cultivation. Very little. Okay. Rock paintings are also started here. Bhimbetka caves, Madhya Pradesh, excavated by Wakankar. in 1953. Animals dominate the scene at Mesolithic art. However, no snakes are depicted in Mesolithic paintings. This becomes a prelims question. This becomes those kind of stuff which UPSC tends to ask in prelims. Some of the important Mesolithic sites, as mentioned in your NCERT, are Bagor region in Rajasthan on Kothari River, largest and most documented Mesolithic site. Chota Nagpur Plateau, Central India. Adamgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Bagor provide earliest evidence of domestication of animals through south of River Krishna. Tinneveli in Tamil Nadu, also called Tirunelveli. Bhirbhanpur, West Bengal. Sarai Nahar, Allahabad, Pratapgarh area. Mahadaha, UP, where bone artifacts were found, I mean bone tools were found, etc. And Arrowhead and bone ornaments were found. See, this is Mesolithic painting. You can see this here. This is Mesolithic painting. In this paintings, if you observe, there is this group hunting or herding type of behavior. So they're all marching in a group. They're sitting on an animal, sitting on an animal, sitting on a man, standing, animal, man sitting on an animal, man sitting on an animal, man sitting on an animal. He has a spear in his hand. They're all going for a group hunting or a war or something like that. Neolithic age is food production age, from hunter-gatherers in Paleolithic to herders in Mesolithic. Now the people have reached to the point of complete food production and storage. Gordon Child termed Neolithic phase as Neolithic revolution. The reason why he called it revolution is there was a complete and fundamental change in the society. This culture largely produced fruits, corn like ragi and horse gram. Horse gram is also called kulathi. New tools came in, production of stone tools, producing implements such as polished, pecked and ground stone tools. Pottery and potter's wheel became invented in the Neolithic era. Life was self-sufficient, village life. All these are features of civilization. This is the reason why we call this a complete Neolithic revolution. Some of the Neolithic locations are Burzahom in Jammu and Kashmir, Gufkral in Jammu and Kashmir. In Burzahom, we see rectangular choppers, domestic dogs buried with their masters. I mean, this is one of the first places where we have evidence of dog and man friendship or domestication, animal domestication. Example also is this. Gufkral, pit dwelling, stone tools, graveyard, location within the households. Pikli Hall in Karnataka. Cattle herding proof comes from Pikli Hall. Payampalli in Tamil Nadu. Utnur, Andhra Pradesh. Mehergarh, also called the bread basket of Baluchistan. Koldhiva in Belan Valley. Here we see circular huts along with crude handmade pottery plus earliest evidence of rice cultivation in the world. It is Koldhiva where we see the first evidence of rice cultivation. That's a quick introduction for you about the three different eras: Mesolithic, Neolithic, and also Paleolithic. Who are the historians? What is the different lithic stories? More about Stone Ages, we'll see in Stone Ages lesson part 2.